Okay, Christians, hold on to your butts here, because this is going to be shocking. Thomas Jefferson wrote, "The Christian God can easily be pictured as virtually the same God as the many ancient gods of past civilizations. The Christian God is a three-headed monster, cruel, vengeful, and capricious. If one wishes to know more of this raging, three-headed beast-like God, one needs only to look at the caliber of people who say they serve him. They are always of two classes, fools and hypocrites." It's Thomas Jefferson. It's not me.
Probably not a Christian there.
Thomas Jefferson. Not a Christian, deist. Deist. Believed in a God, had a lot of criticisms of Christianity and Christians.
To put it mildly.
Here's another one. History, I believe, Thomas Jefferson again, history, I believe, furnishes no example of a priest-ridden people maintaining a free civil government. This marks the lowest grade of ignorance, of which their political as well as religious leaders will always avail themselves for their own purpose. They're basically saying, people start taking religious leaders seriously, that leads to the destruction of the free civil government in favor of the religious claims. Okay, here's another one. Thomas Jefferson. "I have examined all the known superstitions of the world, and I do not find in our particular superstition of Christianity one redeeming feature. They are all alike founded on fables and mythology. Of innocent men, women, and children, since the introduction of Christianity, have been burnt, tortured, fined, and imprisoned. What has been the effect of this coercion? To make one half of the world fools and the other half hypocrites, to support roguery and error all over the earth." This is somebody else commenting on Jefferson from his own time. The New York Observer, reviewing Jefferson's published works, okay, from the review in the New York Observer. "Mr. Jefferson, it is well known, was never suspected of being very friendly to Orthodox religion, but these volumes prove not only that he was a disbeliever, but a scoffer of the very lowest class."
Wow.
Thomas Jefferson.
Wow, he is a scoffer of the lowest class.
I hope I can someday be a scoffer of a class, aspire to be a scoffer of as low class as Thomas Jefferson. John Adams. This is from a letter to Thomas Jefferson. "I almost shudder to think of alluding to that most fatal example of the abuses of grief which the history of mankind has preserved, the cross. Consider what calamities that engine of grief has produced." This is also the guy who signed the Treaty of Tripoli.
Yes.
Where he's saying, on behalf of our government, the government of the United States is not in any sense founded on the Christian religion.
Doesn't get all that much more blunt than that one.
Well, how about this? This would be another letter to Thomas Jefferson. "This would be the best of all possible worlds if there were no religion in it."
What?
John Adams, founding father, in a letter to Thomas Jefferson. Thomas Paine. "Among the most detestable villains in history, you could not find one worse than Moses. Here is an order attributed to God to butcher the boys, massacre the mothers, and debauch and rape the daughters. I would not dare so dishonor my Creator's name by attaching it to this filthy book, the Bible." Thomas Paine, deist, believed in a God, was not a Christian, was a founding father. The thing that kind of surprises me the most about this is that, when I think of the United States as a nation that has freedom of religion, right? It's these kinds of overt, strongly worded attacks on the next guy over's religion that make me nervous, I mean, we do it, but, we're here for entertainment. I guess in their case, in most of these cases, these were private letters.
Yes.
They didn't go out and, on a lecture circuit.
Yeah.
Right. Public speeches where he's, tipping the hat to Christianity because he knows how many of the people in the U.S. believe that stuff that he thinks is nonsense. And also his own personal references to God, where he actually means it because he really did believe in one.
Yeah.
Those things together make it very easy for religious leaders, Christian religious leaders, who want to convince people that this is a Christian nation, right, to mine for quotes that they can point at and say, aha, see, he was a Christian. No. Read the private letters. It is the duty of every true deist to vindicate the moral justice of God against the evils of the Bible. Accustom a people to believe that priests and clergy can forgive sins, and you will have sins in abundance. What influence, in fact, have ecclesiastical establishments had on society? In some instances, they have been seen to erect a spiritual tyranny on the ruins of the civil authority. On many instances, they have been seen upholding the thrones of political tyranny. In no instance have they been guardians of the liberties of the people. James Madison, founding father. Rulers who wish to subvert the public liberty may have found an unestablished clergy convenient auxiliaries, allies. A just government instituted to secure and perpetuate civil liberties needs them not. Religion and government will both exist in greater purity the less they are mixed together. The number, the industry, and the morality of the priesthood and the devotion of the people have been manifestly increased by the total separation of the church from the state. Ben Franklin, quote, I cannot conceive otherwise than that he, the infinite Father, expects or requires no praise or worship from us, but that he is even infinitely above it.
Yes. Which is always something I go back to. I cannot see how an infinitely powerful, perfect God could possibly have the ego problem
that he would need.
That tiny little people of his creations would need to bow down and kneel to him and praise him and say, oh my God, you're so good.
Yeah.
A God cannot possibly be so vain as to create a world solely for his...
I guess it's possible. I mean, sure, what the heck.
Okay, good point.
But if,
no perfect God.
But if there was a God that was like that, would he deserve that worship, that he was so vain that he emotionally required it?
Exactly.
Or would he just be just this sad, infinite dude?
Dude, where's my people?
Yeah. Well, there's more. There's more. So please, call in if you object. We got more.
Yeah, so we'd love to hear from Christians. If you have any ideas on this or ideas on why everyone perpetuates this myth, we'd be nice to hear about it.